Crane here. Welcome back to Greatness Quest, and every week I'm bringing you someone absolutely extraordinary. This week is Rory Carruthers. Say hello, brother.
Hello.
And I am completely dudded up with some champagne, almost getting ready to pour it, in my tux with our ridiculous ruffled shirt on here. I see you really dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, I dress up well,
Well, we are talking about, Rory and I have been working on a book project together called Your Epic Book Launch. He's a #1 international bestseller and actually is the inspiration behind us creating this book with over 15, I think we have 15 now, co-authors that are contributing to how someone can write a book, grow a 6-7-figure business behind it, and they share their mistakes, they share the strategies, we show someone exactly how to do it, and you're talking to the man right here who said, you know what, every client I have, I make sure we have an epic launch, like not just they wrote a book, but we were having lunch together in San Diego. Is that where we were?
That's where we were. That's correct.
And Rory and I were just getting to know each other, and he was telling me about what his magic was, what his mojo was. And I was like, man, I got to partner with this guy. In fact, we had just heard from Paul Culligan, who wrote this book, How to Podcast, and how he had co-authored the book with about, I think it's about 10, 12 different amazing people at podcasting. And I thought, man, let's do this book. Let's tell the story. Let's make sure someone knows exactly how to, since he stole a podcast, how to have an epic book launch. And we started it right there, and that was about a month ago, maybe two. Well, how long was it?
Almost 2 months ago now. Yeah.
Well, our book, by the time you watch this video, the book will be out. I am not yet cracking the bubbly, but you can go get the book on Amazon at what's it called? Our book is called again. I'm just waiting, trying to get you talking more.
Your Epic Book Launch.
That's what it is. Your Epic Book Launch. All right, so brother, why should somebody go get this book, and what is it? Tell everybody watching right now, what is an epic book launch, and why do they need one?
Well, an epic book launch is really the foundation. If you are looking to either start a business or grow a business, you've got to, one of the best ways you can do that is with a book, because it creates authority and it creates value in the marketplace. And why you'd want to have an epic book launch as opposed to just a standard book launch?
Yeah, because a lot of people have books, but they're starving authors out there, right?
Exactly.
So they're starving artists, and then they're starving authors. And I'm thirsty, so I'm going to drink water while you go. Please go on.
All right.
This is fascinating.
So the difference is that when someone starts with just a book but isn't leading to a business and doesn't have a plan of action for their book to lead to monetization, what ends up happening is that they pretty much fail because they don't have a plan. And nothing is connected. Nothing's connected for them. Nothing's connected for their customers or fans who are reading their books. And so when you have an epic book launch, it starts with a book, but you're taking that book and going through the whole process to it becoming a 6 to 7 figure business. Now,
let me interject for a second, because here's what I want to do today. And I know we want to talk about some of the authors we have in the book and some of the strategies they're going to share. So, but one of the reasons you want to watch the rest of this video is we're going to give away the 7 different phases of launch. Right now, we are in launch first phase, which is what, Roy? What is phase 1 of the 7-stage launch process?
Phase 1 is the pre-launch. So this is where you are launching your book before you have released it out to the world. And this allows you to become a best-selling author before your book has even been released yet.
I love it, because it's the same thing. I bought my phone. Actually, I didn't, but I tried to buy my phone before it came out. I wanted to pre-order one, and people don't know that you can do that with a book. But I'm also getting ready to celebrate, this is water, not alcohol, that my 8-year-old daughter has a book that's coming out as well, The 3 Kitty Ninjas. I'm going to have
3
her...
Ninja Kitties.
Well, you know what? I can't remember which way she does it. It's Three
It's
Kitty
three Ninja
Ninjas,
Kitties. Yeah.
Ninja Kitties, or okay. Well, she might change that. I think it want. Who knows? She's 8, or she'll be 8 in a day. By the time the book comes out, she'll be 8 years old in one day. That's very important to her. So, okay, we're going to talk about all the 7 phases of launch. Now, why is it important, Rory, that we have more than one author here? Because it's you, it's me, and it's 15 other people. And give me a specific example of one of the co-authors and what value they bring.
Well, the reason we brought on other authors is because there's a lot of different aspects to a book launch, and there's different avenues you can take depending on what it is that your business needs and what direction and focus you want to go. Now, we have partnered up with some excellent authors to provide value in their expertise. Now, just recently we had some new authors come on, which I'm really excited about.
Tell me about them. I want to hear. Pick one. Pick one of our best. I mean, they're all awesome, but just pick one.
I'm really excited about Victoria Griggs coming on because she is a Facebook ads expert. Okay, crazy good. She works for the top marketers, and
she works with some of the best marketers in the world, and has been working hand in hand with them. And she's the #1 best-selling author herself, and she's going to share strategies about how you can use Facebook to rip it up with your book. Am I right?
You are right.
All right. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. You're going to learn more about the 7 phases of launch from Rory, and then also you're going to hear more about our amazing authors that we're featuring here. So you're watching Greatness Quest on the Whatever It Takes Network. Hey guys, welcome back. You're watching Greatness Quest. I'm Trevor Crane here with Rory Carruthers. He's my brother, one of the co-authors of our new book, Your Epic Book Launch. This is about you have an epic book launch. We are celebrating. I'm in the ridiculousness of the tux here, but go ahead. Tell them what they're going to get out of this book, Rory.
All right. So if you are looking to grow your business or even start a business, you've got to have a plan. And what our book is that plan. And because it starts with a book and it ends with a 6 to 7 figure business. And if that's what you want, that's why you read the book.
That's right. Now, tell them, you were talking about Victoria a little bit, who is our Facebook guru, someone who knows how to use that. Give us just a little more goods there, and then maybe talk about one more of our contributing authors and an area of expertise. Go ahead.
Okay, so Victoria, her specialty is taking Facebook ads and monetizing it. And if you want to learn about it, she's the lady to learn from.
Now, I'm going to probe here a little bit because you just spent a weekend with her that I didn't get the chance to do that. Maybe you spent more than that. Tell me something you learned that is valuable to somebody watching right now. What kind of insight did she give you, or that they're going to find out in the book? Give it away.
Well, that if you don't do things right, you can get your Facebook account shut down.
Like, give me an example.
If you use the wrong wording in your ad,
Yeah,
Facebook,
that's a good one. You told me about that. Tell them what that wording is.
Well, it could be anything that really relates back to saying that someone is going to earn money or get some specific result.
Like scammy money-related things. Like they don't want to see Facebook ads now on like, hey, you can make 10 grand a month doing this thing.
Yeah, but it goes even beyond that. But
really,
yes. But the thing is that if you get it right, then you can monetize it. If you don't, then you've lost that account forever.
Yeah, and they don't let you back, right?
No.
Yeah.
Exactly. Crazy.
Okay, so we know she's going to give away that. That's key here because everybody needs to be doing Facebook ads. You're leaving money on the table by not. You're going to learn how to do that regardless of whether or not you have a book. And she's going to give away strategies that you use the book. We're going to be using those with the promotion of our book through the 7 phases. Let me shift gears. If the first phase of a book launch, epic book launch, is pre-launch, what comes next? Actually, walk me through all 7, Roy, so we're not like teasing to the end of this.
Okay, so there's the pre-launch, the e-launch, the paperback, the free launch, the audiobook, the hardcover book, and what's the last one?
Podcast.
Podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, and we actually shipped the podcast before the hardback. But here's the cool thing: I was interviewing John Cody, who also is a contributing author and actually wrote one of his best-selling books, Healthcare Elsewhere, with doing the podcast first, building his audience, building, monetizing the process, then turning that into a book. And he's been now introduced to countries saying he is an expert to go ahead and help with medical tourism. So he did it a little different, which is one of the reasons why we're bringing you multiple authors, multiple best-selling authors, and their strategies around growing a successful business. Tell me, Rory, about another one of our co-authors who's extraordinary in teaching and brings an insight.
I would say Diane Bell and Becky Norwood. Now, they specialize in virtual book tours. So this is another aspect, another avenue that you can go down with your book.
So describe what a book tour is in the first place. So if I had a book, this is Paul's book. Let me get my wife's book. I shouldn't be holding Paul's book all the time. I should be holding up our book, but it's in the mail, right? So, so I've got this book. What's a book tour?
Okay, so a normal book tour, you would go to bookstores and you would go to events around the country and spend all your time traveling and do book signing and stuff like that.
So like Barnes and Noble would hook me up, and I'd go there and I'd have a table and I wait for people to come up, and then I sign my book and I endorse it and say, "Oh, this one's for you," and I kiss it with lipstick and give it to them. Okay, cool. That's a book tour. But what's a virtual book tour?
So a virtual book tour is blogging online, doing podcasts, and having it all focused and in a time frame that is all centered around the launch of your book.
Right. Like, so Tony Robbins just put out Money Master the Game, right? I've got that here. No, I don't. My wife grabbed it. So, but I saw him speak on every stage possible. Like, he spoke with every online guru that I know and love and follow. A lot of thought leaders. He was on news media. So the partners that we now have that are co-authors in our book are going to talk to you about how you can do that. And we are doing that in the next phase of our launches. So it's a strategic way to promote your book. And what we're giving you in this book is the way that you play like the big boys. So you don't just go ahead and say, "Oh, I'm an author and I have this ebook that I put out." You know, this is about really making it epic so that you build what you want. And there's not one way to do it. There's multiple formulas. So we've got a couple. What else? Who else should we be talking about that's an extraordinary contributor in the book? And give something away, because a lot of people didn't know probably that you could have a virtual launch. And quite frankly, Rory and I, that's not our expertise. One of the reasons why we brought the authors in is that we wanted the collaboration of their expertise that we could give away to you, and we wanted it for our own business as well. So go ahead.
Yeah, Diane and Becky are amazing ladies, and you had mentioned that I got to spend time with Victoria this past weekend. I spent time with Diane and Becky as well. But the person who put on the event, his name is Everett O'Keefe. Absolutely amazing guy. Like he put on this mastermind retreat that out in Yosemite. I can't even describe how much detail and thought he put into it to make it an amazing experience.
Love it. Go ahead, keep talking.
He's a contributor to the book, and he's been in the publishing business for 2 years now and had some phenomenal successes for his clients and for himself. And his focus is really on the why behind a book. And I really like that, because if you don't understand what your book is about, then you're flapping in the water without a life raft, you know?
Right. If you don't know why you're doing it, people do marketing sometimes and they don't know what their purpose is. And a book has some purpose. You know, you might do it because you want to leave a legacy, or you want to build a business, or whatever. If you don't know that at the outset, you're kind of screwed. Now we're going to take a quick break and be right back. We're going to learn more about your epic book launch. Hey guys, welcome back. You're watching Trevor Crane and Rory Carruthers. We are co-authors of the new book, Your Epic Book Launch, so you can go check that out. And we're going to talk about some of the other authors that have contributed to the book. Also, the 7 phases of what makes an epic launch, which we're going to give away today as our free giveaway. So if you go to greatnessquest.com/epic, we'll give that away to you, and you can pre-order our book by going to Amazon. But Rory, talk to me about one of our other contributing authors and what unique piece they're bringing in. Like when I interviewed Jason P. Jordan here on Greatness Quest, talk about him real quick.
All right, Jason is one of my business partners and a absolute master at business strategy and search engine optimization. Those are some of his major focuses, and he's really, really good at it. And that's where it comes in, where you're getting to the understanding of what your book is about and planning it out. You've got to find different avenues to reach out into the marketplace and get those leads coming back into you.
Well, he and I have been talking strategically about my wife's book, my book. I've partnered with him on a couple projects. He's now part of our publishing team because when you talk about search engine optimization, this has not been my expertise in the past. But what that means to me is, because I'm a caveman with this, and what Jason's great at, and he can translate it and he gives this to you in the book, is that there are people out there looking for you right now. And they're on all kinds of things. They're on Google, they're on Twitter, they're on Facebook, they're on Amazon, they're on iBooks, and they're looking for you. And you can have the greatest book in the world. This is book, How to Create Lifetime Customers. This is the initial cover that Suresh May, one of our other co-authors, used to promote his business and build a very healthy business with it. But if you don't have the right language, your right subheading, all of that, if you don't strategically work that out, you're going to miss clients, tons of customers. And Jason, for himself, for his clients, now for us and our clients, helps people do that. So you can be strategic. So Rory, he's an awesome asset, and he gives that away in the book. Anything else to say about Jason? Because I kind of want to go on. We've got so many authors to talk about. I mean, anything else to say?
That he's just an amazing person, and I love working with him.
Press releases.
Oh, and press releases, yeah.
So he divulges, he calls himself, it's Jason P. Jordan, and P stands for promotion, because his best-selling book is all around helping promote people. He's your personal promotion officer. Is that what he calls himself?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And so tell someone about the value of press releases and what they're missing out on if they're not part of their launch. And write down what Rory says here, because this is gold. You're going to get it in our book on the how-to, but go ahead.
All right. Well, press releases have a twofold strategy. One, they allow you, if you've done them right, to have those logos that say "as seen on," as seen on NBC, ABC, Fox, Bloomberg, CW Network.
Yeah.
That is huge credibility for yourself. But the other thing is that it creates organic search traffic and authority for your website in Google.
That lives forever.
Forever, exactly. And who doesn't want more traffic to their website?
Yeah. It's totally awesome. Well, we ran a campaign for my wife recently, and we saw in the first run of our PR, she just got everywhere she wanted to go. So she can use all the little as seen on things everywhere. I want to talk about another one of our authors, Nabi Kleinman, who's actually out of Australia. So we have some of our contributing authors all over the world, and this is his book, Rich Girl, Poor Girl, and he talks about how he has grown his business using books, and he shares some of the challenges he went through, as like what to avoid so you don't do the same thing. But he's got a phenomenal, actually contributed our chapter to the book. He did it so fast. He's just an action taker. He has a whole outsourcing team out of the Philippines that he runs up, and he travels the world literally. An awesome guy. You're going to love reading his section. This is his financial fairy tales. Awesome guy. Great contributor. Talk to me about one of our other clients, not our clients, co-authors, Rory.
All right. I'd like to talk to you about Ellie Savoy, because she is this amazing lady. She's a wellness coach. and we worked together to launch her book, Stop Dieting, Start Living, out into the marketplace. She's had some phenomenal results because of it. And her focus in working with us is that as you're going through a launch, it can be stressful. You can have all these things going on, and she really, during her launch, she stayed healthy, and she encourages others to take that same path and gives people the tools that they need so that they can be healthy at the end of their launch. Because if you're a launch can be stressful. Things aren't showing, things aren't working right, and then you're like, oh, finally I get a number one, but you went through hours and hours and hours of stress. If you aren't being healthy in the process and looking after yourself, then you'll wake up the next morning destroyed.
Well, that's a really good point. I mean, one of the cool things that reasons we did this book is that it's so hard to do it yourself. I mean, you can probably go on YouTube and you can see somebody tells you a strategy about how to write a book or how to become a bestseller or make money behind your book. But if you're going to do those things well, there's a lot of little things that aren't hard, but if you don't know it, if you check the wrong box on Kindle, on Amazon, when you're loading your book, you can lose so much opportunity just because you haven't been told to do that first little box. Let's talk about doing press releases wrong. You can waste so much money by doing it the wrong way, or if you did it the wrong way on Facebook. So what we've done is we recommend that you get help to do your book. I mean, Rory, the example of Ellie is that she got help. Like, one of the ways she stayed healthy was that she said, okay, I'm going to hire somebody to do these different things for me. She's the content provider, but how many different people worked on her book to help her become a number one and create the results?
A whole team of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we recommend. We're giving you that team in the book, and we're going to give away book bonuses as well that go along with the book to help you, for those do-it-yourselfers out there. There's part of this you're going to need to do yourself, but we're going to give you extra resources so that you're going to have access to our entire team, so you can hire any one of them, or you can hire our whole team to go ahead and help just do it for you, because that's the fastest way to get it done. It will cost you a tiny little bit more money up front, but you can get the result overnight and get it done right, instead of not doing your cover right or getting the formatting wrong on your ebook or thinking you need to do it yourself is like the most ridiculous scarcity statement that poor people use. Like, I got to do it myself and I got to control it. It's like, and I still fight. I'm not preaching here. I still have those challenges myself to let go. But Ellie's got a great story of contribution she's going to share there in the book. I just interviewed Mike Lemoyne. So if you've been watching my Greatness Quest episodes, you've probably met him. He used to be a fireman. He's now an online marketing business expert for small business owners, and he shares some of his strategies about how to market the book, use the book in our book. Phenomenal guy. You're going to love him. He's had tremendous success, and he's an example of imperfect action and not making it perfect, but just creating progress. Phenomenal resource. You're going to love him. Who else do we want to talk about? I want to make sure we get everybody and what value they're bringing to the table. So this isn't just a sale of the damn book. It's $1. We now have it for a sale for $1. We're not care about the money on this. Right now we want you to have this information, and we're going to serve you. Who else do we need to talk about?
Jess Todfeld. Now, Jess is this amazing media trainer who he works with like huge companies, LinkedIn, AARP, and is brought on to train their people of how to deal with the media. And that's a big thing. If you're out there promoting your book, you're going to be interacting with the media. People are going to be interviewing you. So you need to know how you should present yourself on camera.
Right. If someone asks you a question, what are you going to say? I mean, because if you don't know what you're going to say strategically, if you haven't already planned it out, your host, whoever's interviewing you on media, whether it's a podcast or you're on CNBC, does not mean that they know how to lead you and extract what you want to say most. You can miss that opportunity. I've had a lot of clients that I've had to coach in that. So great contribution there. I want to switch gears. One of our authors is Allie Nathaniel, who is a #1 best-selling author. She helps people with their ebook launch. She's a children's book author. So we're not all these money-grubbing a-holes who just want to... I mean, yeah, we are. No, we're not. Yeah, we are. I don't know. Hold on. I'm confusing myself. Am I? I can't remember. But... what's great is she's a great contribution here of like, having Ellie to do about health and Allie about children's books. Like, you can pick any niche and use that book to your benefit. So she's a great contributor. And then my buddy Aaron, I was teasing him. It's Kennard. It's not Kennard. Aaron Kennard is also someone I've interviewed on the show, and he gave his book away for free. His initial strategy was... he had this very personal development book. It's like The Positive Thinking Secret is the name of his book. And he built a list of 12,000 people who are now on his email list. He gave away 300,000 downloads of his book in like 18 months. And he actually has a monthly income now from people that buy a membership from him to get more content and value. So he did not do it from this, I'm going to go build a business, but almost accidentally, not accidentally, it was a strategic play. He's going to talk to you about really being authentic and telling your message and how powerful that is to do, and his story of transformation, because the kid almost died. And that's what his book is all about how this positive thinking secret saved his life. So who else do we need to talk about? I think we're almost there.
I want to say that he used the free launch strategy, and that was his major promotion strategy. I love it.
Yeah, and he didn't do the pre-launch. He didn't do the live launch. He didn't do the hard book launch. He did transform it into a podcast. So you don't have to use all 7. We are using all 7 of the free launch, the e-launch, the pre-launch, the paperback, all that with our book, so that we can showcase what we recommend people do. It gives you more opportunities to celebrate the success, because all too often people refuse to celebrate, and I just can't stand for that. I'll put on a tux, even if I'm wearing flip-flops underneath. Jeans and flip-flops and a ridiculous after 6 dinner ruffled tuxedo shirt. Okay.
That's an awesome
you know what?
shirt.
Make and Bank. I'm thinking about Josh Felber. Brother, talk to me about your interview with Josh and what he actually shared in his interview and we put into this book.
Well, Josh comes from a business background, he's self-made. He has been running businesses since he was 12 years old, which is similar to myself. So I really connected with him about that. And he has a bunch of CrossFit gyms and a social media company. He is just what you call a serial entrepreneur.
But he's not a serial entrepreneur from the standpoint of, I mean, have you ever been to a networking event and someone says, I'm a serial entrepreneur? And what that means is that they fail almost every business that they do. They're like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm barely getting by in 5 businesses right now. I made $4 on that one, and I make $1,000 on that one. Every year I make that money on it. No. That's not Josh. Josh has a show right here on the Whatever It Takes Network called Make and Bank. And if you haven't checked it out yet, you should check him out. Not the type of guy that's going to go ahead and be King Kong telling you, I am great. That's not him. But just solid foundational principles that he takes action. He's an action-taking guy, and he follows a system. And, I think you're going to love his contribution in the book, and you'll love his show. So that's kind of cool. You should check that out. Definitely.
Yeah. How about our psychology side of launching? This is our buddy Dieter, and he and his wife launched this book called Juice Your Way to Health, and I helped a little bit on the back end of the launch. And what I loved about Dieter is anytime I gave him advice, he would implement. He's like pushing harder every time to do better than I had even suggested, and I love that. And what he talks about in the book is the psychology and the mindset that it takes to go through a launch, to realize that your book is more than just a one-off thing, that it is your business. And I really appreciate him. He's such an amazing guy.
Thanks for sharing that. I mean, a lot of times people, okay, I'll give you an example. I think people don't think things through. You know, I have this tendency. So when I asked my wife to marry me, for example, when I decided that I was going to do that, the only thing I could think of, first of all, was me coming up with that decision. Like, that was a huge, huge step. But this is a relation to business and books. That's why I'm telling this story. Is the only thing I could think about was whether or not that was the right choice. And so once I established that, and it was a really difficult choice, by the way. Sorry, just kidding. But once I figured that out, then the only thing I could think of next was, okay, well, what about the ring? So I couldn't think of, and I didn't think of much else, but I thought I got to get the ring because I can't ask her to marry me until I get the ring. So I was laser focused, and all I could think about was the ring. But what I did was every step of the game, I really only could see one step. And there were a lot of others, right? There's a whole wedding process. There was asking her to marry me. There was a lot of different things, but I couldn't see everything. And I think people get stuck on, I want to write a book, and they don't necessarily move on, or they get the book done, but they don't think about the other steps. They're not strategic thinking about the overall plan. You know, I wasn't at all about what ended up happening for me during the whole asking her to marry me thing was that I was like, I felt like I got to one hurdle was over, and then I was hit with, oh no, the next one I hadn't even thought about. So I got the ring, right? And then I had to ask her to marry me. Where am I going to do that? I don't want to look like an a-hole. Am I going to get down on one knee? Am I going to do it in front of her family? Am I going to do it on a mountaintop? Oh. And then I couldn't process anything else. So another reason why you want to have a whole team is they've already been there before. And if you can know ahead of time, before you start writing your book, if you can get the team involved when it's still an idea, good God, we can strategize all those steps out to make sure you get the bigger result down the line. And so great contribution. So, tell us about, I know you've got a couple more of our authors. Talk to me about Bill, or did we skip anybody else?
Bill is all about authority. And the authority that your book creates for you. Now he's had some phenomenal successes working with his client, and he really cares about his clients, and he really wants other people to be successful, and that's what I connected with him on. And so if you're looking for that step in the door that maybe you're missing from your business, that people aren't taking you seriously, then you need that authority. And that's really what Bill focuses on, is getting you that authority. And he does it really well, and he does it strategically.
Now, what's his last name? Is it Kopactic? I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, no. Now I completely blew it. But all right, brother, I'm trying
to... I don't know.
Yeah, so, and he's a great contributor on his own. I mean, he takes authors and he helps people do this whole process himself. We brought him into the book because he has a unique insight in how he does it, and we want you to get that so that you can make sure you have the best book for that you create the best book for your business. So have we covered everybody, brother?
I believe so. I believe we have.
Well, you write a little bit in this book, and so do I. So
yeah.
We're awesome. We're going to give you the steps of how do you write it, some really cool ways. You're going to get really cool, easy ways that you can get it done and not have to kill yourself and get it done quickly, and you can monetize it and whatnot. We're going to share with you the 7 launch strategies and give that away to you as a PDF. I think I actually promised that at one point on one of my episodes with Jason P. Jordan, and then we gave away his PR piece. So we better give that away this time. Go to greatnessquest.com/epic. And this episode has been all like a selfless, completely selfish self-promotion, right? But we're charging $1 to give you the book away because we want you to have it. This whole month I've been interviewing the most extraordinary #1 best-selling authors that I could, all people in our book. I've got some more coming up soon in some of the other episodes we're doing, so you can learn how to do a New York Times bestseller. And we have other members of our team that we're building to go ahead and support you. Rory, what would you say to anybody watching right now? This is your chance to go ahead and say bye, but also an action-taking step for someone. We want them to get value from every episode of Greatness Quest where they're learning to become their best.
Well, I'd encourage people to think about how long that maybe they've been thinking about writing a book. Now, if you have been putting it off, here's your chance not only to do it, but to do it, have it mean something, and grow a business for yourself. It's so, so important. And we give you the tools and the strategies and all that. But besides that, when you get that book in your hand and you really feel what it's like to have your own book, and then you start getting the feedback from other people in your life and outside in the world giving you feedback, and you're getting reviews, man, it feels so good. And I wish that for everyone. I truly, truly do.
Well, and I'm going to take it a step further because let's go with Josh Felber's show, Make and Bank. The intention here is that you build the book with your why, with your passion, to support you in to have the ideal business that you want, so you can have the ideal life that you want. And, you can use this tool to create a business and client. This can be the best business card you've had. All of the contributors in this book have made, that are in Your Epic Book Launch, have made a sizable income from their books. We have clients that our whole focus, once they get their book done, they start getting more clients, making more money. In fact, one of the things we'll give away in the book is how you can start profiting and making money before your book ever even gets written. We have 10 ways we share that you can go ahead and profit from even just coming up with the idea of your book and how you communicate that to the world. 10 different ways you can get paid, and we've done that with our clients. And I've got a client that started with us using this strategy 2 months ago. They've created, since we're not on Facebook, I'm just going to throw this out. They've created over $90,000 worth of income in the last 2 months, and they didn't make any in coaching or consulting income last year, like in 2014. So
awesome.
We're talking about some sizable results that you can get by using the strategy of books in your business. That's not everybody, but that was one person, one gal. She's going to remain nameless here, but she's doing awesome, and you know who you are, so congratulations. And we look to seeing you next week on Greatness Quest. Do what Rory said. Take this as an opportunity. Check out our book. Right now it's in pre-launch, so you're not going to be able to read it all yet, but when you go to greatnessquest.com/epic, we'll give you some cool stuff. We'll see you next week, and Trevor Crane and Rory Carruthers signing off. Hold on, brother. Let me pour you a glass. I'm going to do a virtual toast as we leave here. Hold on. This is your glass. Let's pretend that's the real stuff. We'll do this again. So go ahead. You can say cheers to me.
Cheers.
I'm not sure how that looks, but... All right, we'll see you next week.
Greatness Quest is also available for download on iTunes and Stitcher. See the link in the description below.